The other day, I was shopping at this pretty sketchy store somewhere in Boston, and I happened to notice a ton of fire safety issues, so I'm just going to go ahead and go over them in this video. In terms of fire extinguishers, they were a mess. Most of the fire extinguishers were actually completely empty. There were a ton of these old kitties. They were just on the floor. This one's missing a hose, as you can see. This one's mounted way too high off the ground. This one's just sitting here. Not a single extinguisher was within date. You can see that a lot of them are just neglected. There's one that was just lying on a stairway, so that was an atrocity. The few fully charged extinguishers were newer Buckeyes that were installed in 2021. However, they have been neglected since they haven't been maintained in a while. This one's about to fall off the bracket. And then, of course, you can see we have a couple more just random places. In terms of fire alarm system, this place actually wasn't an atrocity. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't great by any means, but at least it looked like it was functioning for the most part. Here you can see a heat detector just hanging onto a piece of wood, kind of janky. This was a little concerning. There was an activated smoke detector. By the way, all the smoke detectors and other stuff in the store were filthy, but you can see it's activated, so clearly the system was silenced. There were only like 2 notification appliances in the whole store, one classic and then one 7002 that I didn't picture, but again, like I said, everything is filthy. But aside from like blocked pull stations and things like that, which you'd see on basically any system, this system was not too bad. Then there was this at the front door, which doesn't really look great. It's a exit sign that does not exist. There's just live cables hanging out of the ceiling. That's really concerning because I think it's still live since the other exit sign that was across from it was still lit. So that's probably not good. Here's an exit. This right here is actually the concerning part. It's the fact that this building has a very low amount of egress pathways. In terms of fire deaths, most will occur when people are unable to exit a building, and in this building there were 4 egress pathways. 2 of them were blocked off or inaccessible in some way. So this was one of them. You can see it's just piled with stuff. It's clearly marked as an exit, but in an emergency where people are trying to file out of the store, and believe me, there were a ton of people, way over the occupancy load. It would be really difficult to exit out of this place. Then the other exit that was blocked was obviously also marked as an exit, and I was actually just poking around and I almost just stepped through it because the stairway leading out was completely rusted to the point where like steps were just missing. So that's really concerning. So unfortunately, this building looks like it's not very safe. Not only does it not have egress pathways or compliant fire extinguishers, the emergency lighting is also in pretty questionable condition. Given what I saw, I'm sure a lot of it wasn't working. The building is not sprinklered, which is also probably not the best, and the fire alarm system is also kind of in questionable condition. So that's not a great combination, but hopefully there is never an emergency here because they don't look very well prepared for one.